Well, I guess it is voice acted.
Some parts. Oh, so hungry. So much for being voice acted. I think just, as I said before, the major scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But after that miserable show, I'll need to save my money.
No, you don't.
Hello there.
Your finest meatballs, sir.
Huh? Ah.
Well, if it isn't the green pea, you're looking famished. Here, I take it you're on a tight budget now.
Keep it. I refuse to take pity food from a rival.
Oh, all right.
Suit yourself.
Say.
So, why'd you take up this line of work anyway?
You see, both my parents are merchants, so I guess it just came naturally. And now I'm wandering the world and learning the trade as I go.
Well,
You don't say. My old man's a merchant too. In the south, everyone and their uncles heard of Maruth the merchant. He was such a smooth talker he could sell sand in the desert. But he never once told a lie. With just a few words, my dad could get anyone to buy what he was selling, make them feel genuinely happy about their purchase. It was like magic. His words had an incredible power, one that could help people see the beauty in the things they purchased.
And then?
And so I decided to follow in my old man's footsteps.
Really? Did you take up the family business?
No.
Nah, I ran away from home.
What?
I'll spare you the details, but that's just how things played out.
I see. It wasn't so different from me, you know.
Heh, you don't say.
No.
Well, I got another busy day ahead of me. Better luck tomorrow, eh?
Same to you. And may the best merchant win. Uh-oh.
Well, well, you seem to be doing well for yourself. Illegal though your business may be. And who are you? Watch your tone, boy. Mr. Morlock owns this establishment, as well as everything else in this town. Ahem, that I most certainly do.
Hey, now.
That's great and all, but what do you mean illegal? You may all own all the gold, but these are just dusty old rocks until I polish them to a sheen. That pompous attitude will get you in trouble someday, boy. As landowner here, Mr. Morlock has the right to oversee any and all business transactions he so desires. As of now, that includes the trading of your little rocks. Does it now? That seems awfully arbitrary if you ask me. But that wouldn't be the first foul thing to happen here. Or weren't you aware, Mr. Morlock? You see, the price of gold is actually 10 times what you're giving your miners.
Ali, maybe this isn't the time.
It's exactly the time. They're deceiving honest, hardworking people just to line their pockets. On my honor as a merchant, I won't stand for it. Omar, teach this little desert ant what happens to pests who try to stain my good name. Ready to be squished, boy? I'd like to see you try. I'm stronger than I look. I'm well versed in all the martial arts.
Let's do
Ollie,
this.
the one-man army. They call me in the South. The mere mention of my name strikes fear into the hearts of any who would wrong the common man. I've killed more people than I can count, and all with one hand. Then you'll make a fine opponent.
The one-man army?
Ha! A merchant's weapon is his words. We don't get a chance to stand on a real battlefield. Or we don't stand a chance on a real battlefield. My fight was lost the instant we came to blows. I trust you've learned your lesson, Ant. Ah, looks like your wares aren't selling too well. Don't worry, I'll take them off your hands. These stones belong to me, do you understand? If you're so determined to have them, though, I'll let you be my little worker ant. Yeah, I'll be in my manner. Come find me if you want a real job.
Wait, they're taking Ollie?
Yep. Time for a little bit of justice.
I can't believe that man. How dare he take advantage of people to line his own pockets? That's just dirty. Ollie. Or is it like Ali? Like Prince Ali?
Probably Prince Ali.
Ali above. Well, yeah, okay. I might not agree with everything he does. But I do agree with what he said about Morlock. Even if he could have been a little bit more diplomatic about it. I have to save him. Morlock said that he'd be in his manor. It's time to pay him a visit.
Guns blazing. Nope. Travel banter.
Oh.
Hey.
Are you gonna help Ali?
That's the plan.
I thought he was your sworn enemy in the trading business.
He was, and is, but only in business. He hasn't been good for my sales, but it's not like I hate him as a person, you know?
Don't you think this is the perfect chance to get rid of a thorn in your side?
Maybe that's how thieves work, but not honest traders. He gets on my nerves, sure. But what's the point if I don't beat him fair and square?
Suit yourself.
I'll not be taking advice from thieves, thank you very much.
She's got some steel in her bones, this one.
Did you say something?
Nothing important. Pay no mind to this thief.
See, I think that's cute.
Yeah. No, maybe there is a bit of dialogue for every encounter, and it just kind of pulls from who you have available. So no matter what, pretty much you will always have something to say.
But that was definitely targeted with him. I mean, then again, Therian is from this area, right?
Therian is from directly west.
Yeah, but he's still
So he's
a
from
desert
over
person.
here in Boulder Fall.
Yeah.
There's Morlock's Manor. I haven't been here before, so I'm gonna look around for a second. Because treasure chests. I think this is actually legitimately a dungeon of sorts. Oh, support skills. I'm gonna take off evasive maneuvers. I know you're not interested in fights, but
I'm trying to think of the lyrics to that song now. Was it Prince Ali, wealthy is he? Or
This
something
is the beginning
else?
Of your end.
I don't know.
might be. Actually, yeah.
Whoa. Did he have a shovel? Or what
Axe.
was that? An axe. Okay.
Yeah. He has an axe.
Hey, look, more pangolin things.
Yes.
But these look like pangolin ankylosaurs.
These skills. I desperately need to get some better equipment.
I appreciate it. Really.
Yeah, unfortunately, we might actually be kind of weak for this.
You mean the critters?
We'll see how this goes. So one of the problems that
Oh, flames.
we're gonna have to kind of deal with here is the team is particularly under-geared. Oh, we're good. Let's just do this now. See what happens. Hey, that actually helps out more than.
Isn't that her line? Didn't she just say, "Let's see what happens"?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not gonna question pure random happenstance luck. Let's see. We're good there. So what could I do? The problem is I haven't upgraded my weaponry at all. So I guess what I should probably do is just attack him. But yeah, I haven't updated the gear on all the characters yet. I'm not entirely sure if I want to. I should. No, I should probably be using his last stand axe move.
This calls for surgery.
Yeah, that was that big vulture from before.
Yeah, who was tough at the time.
My turn now.
Is tougher now. No, let's not do that. Let's actually use her for
Winds of fortune
combat
howling.
until it's dance time, which I think will be the next round. So merchant skills, yes. Okay. Oh no, I didn't get him the good trade
Not
winds
trade
move.
winds. Oh.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I'll make this one vulnerable.
Wind in our sails.
Break.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide how we do this, because yeah, Alphen is low level,
What the?
and yeah, Alphen is low level.
How low level?
He's level 9 compared to Therian, who's like almost 30.
Ooh.
It's a bit of a mix.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see. So
What?
enveloping mist
A
isn't a problem.
toxic cloud?
We're fine. I mean, it's a mild inconvenience, sure, but we're fine. The poison kind of sucks, though.
Poison does.
How about this?
This team is set for it. But I think we might go back into town for a bit, and we might go back into town for a bit, and
I was really looking forward to continuing the plot.
yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those where we just need some equipment. Like, I know you'd like to continue the plot, but I would also like to not lose. Let's see. They're not...
I mean, your health doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
You have like 2 characters at half, but
Yeah, but like, half these characters aren't even using weapons.
maybe you just don't have a balanced team.
No, I have a balanced team. I literally haven't bought them equipment shell. I
Oh.
keep saying this, like,
Okay.
they're not using weapons. So if you unequip a spear, you can still use a spear. Let's see.
Yeah.
Concoct. Somebody had said, oh, why to turn that one on? Oh, since I haven't done these before, we actually don't know what it does. Okay, that's how Concoct works. But yeah, so for example, Cyrus, I think, only has like 1 weapon equipped, and so if he needs to use anything other than his spear, it actually puts him in a really awkward position, where he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Same thing with Cyrus. So I think I'm just gonna go buy placeholder equipment,
What's this now?
because the alternative is dying. And admittedly, like the major reason why I'm running into trouble right now is because that dance
Oh no.
did like kind of the worst possible thing, because we're like super poisoned and can't cast spells and
What's
stuff,
this now?
which is certainly not great. Let's see. No, we don't have anything useful here. Items. I do have some wind soul stones, but I shouldn't be using them for this. But no, we should be breezing through these fights, and this is what happens when I effectively don't grind.
I grind.
Shucks.
Arr.
Let's get down
No,
to work.
let me do that. Okay. Maybe it's Soothing Dust plus Essence of Grape. Ah, there we go.
Try this.
I have to go buy some more concoctions so Alphen can actually be a functional healer too. Because effectively, the way Alphen works is...
Because it's an alchemist, does he expend resources?
Yeah.
Ah, I never liked that.
I don't mind it so much, as long as it's handled well.
But to me, it just reminds me of how I noticed that a lot of the spell cards that I have in Dungeons and Dragons have, like, you need a plume, an inkwell,
Yeah, I
a
normally
weird
don't like force you
stone.
guys to deal with that stuff, but that actually can be really cool.
That would be in a
handled
campaign
well.
where you have to worry about eating, drinking,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Where
like,
stuff
all your
like supplies
resources
are
and
important.
Supplies.
Now the true
I just
lesson
can't.
begins.
I always enjoy the concept of a spellcaster. Maybe they have to say particular phrases or words or symbols, or maybe they do have something they need to burn or to expend, but I just don't like it when all of your magic comes at a physical cost, because then imagine the kind of backpack you have to have.
I like to think of it, I think an interesting magic system would actually be to have it,
Let's see what you got.
where...
Well, I understand that some have it where you have a different ring on each finger, and each ring has a stone that has a flower, an amber or something, or you know what I mean? So that's affiliated with the type of magic, but yuck.
I think the most interesting way I could think of for this sort of system would be...
Keep it up.
But isn't it like Spider-Man's web spinners?
Yeah.
How I liked it when
He-
it was more of like his organic version versus
Yeah.
just the I ran out of my
Oh
web
no,
canisters.
yeah, well it's mainly just that happened constantly. It's just like him always running out of web fluid was not interesting. No, for me, I like the idea of a system where like the more ingredients you throw in, the cheaper the spell is to cast. So like I could just be like point and fire a fireball, but you know maybe that's more of a drain on me. But say if you have like bat guano and saltpeter and like a bunch of other like kind of fiery concoction things, plus like a runic circle and like effectively all this extra time or material components,
ruby.
it's cheaper. And so it's kind of the question of, you know, what are you willing to put in? Because that honestly makes more sense for a system like this.
Here I go.
Okay, well we don't know what these guys are weak to.
It's more of those creepy eggs.
Yep, okay, the answer is spears.
Out of my
Do we
way.
have spears? No. He's got axes. Try sword.
Try this.
There's the full list.
Here we go.
I'll have to try to keep it in mind, but I'm wondering if the battle music's always the same, or is it a different theme in each area?
I don't know actually.
What next?
Let's see, merchant skills. Yoink.
Consider it.
Yeah, it's a little
your
bit.
Tuition.
But yeah, we're gonna go back into town just for a second, and we're going to pick up.
Let's see what
We're
happens.
just
When
gonna
he
pick up.
steals, he says, "Consider it your tuition."
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
He's using school phrases.
Oh. I really want that times 100 EXP bonus at some point. That'll be satisfying. Do we actually have an AoE on him? Hunter skills. Yes, we do. Whee! Oh. That was less exciting than I was hoping for.
Don't start things you can't finish.
Yeah, so Therion's level 28 and Elfin's level 12. He'll catch up quick, but this area is rated for level 22. So, like,
You might just want to go up to the dude's manor then.
well, that's gonna be even harder.
Oh.
Because there's a boss there. Like, we have to fight stuff. It's not like we're gonna go...
Oh, I thought that for some reason the character quests were much lower level than the surrounding area.
No.
Okay.
No, I just am gonna go find the equipment store. And just kind of...
See what you can muster.
Yeah, how much do I have? I got 35,000.
That's only enough for one weapon, I'd say.
No, that's enough for one of the really expensive weapons from that really expensive town. That's actually more than enough for equipment from, like, this area.
Okay.
First we're gonna sell all the mysterious ore that I picked up, which... isn't that helpful. But it'll stack up. I should probably also sell some of the really cheap weapons, like the longswords. Anything that's worth, like,
30.
30 is... Yeah, this is the starting gear we started with. And I don't think this game has, like, a upgrade system, really. Because, yeah, not really benefited from having these around.
Even the things that are like 150, you get rid of.
Yeah, I probably should clean
Like,
this
at
up.
some point, you should just be like, anything under 1,000 goes.
Yeah. Realistically, should probably start with that immediately. Because, yeah, we don't need all these round shields. Oh, some characters already have these equipped. That's silly. Yeah, the iron axe isn't that helpful. Let's see, memorial harpoon. Like, some of the effects on these would be nice, but too late. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's buy. So, Mage's Glaive is 30,000, but it does physical and elemental attack. It's actually kind of helpful on Tressa. 40 damage.
Make sure that you have enough to buy the 2
Yeah,
weapons, because
realistically-
everything else is like 10,000.
Yeah, I
15.
should buy the other stuff first. Because it's... I mean, realistically, we need... So, Elfin has the best armor I have available. Yeah. Okay, and then Saintly Tiaras. Then Plate Shield. Do we want the Plate Shield or do we want the Kite Shield? Kite Shield's probably better. Okay. So now my characters are at least tankier.
What are the tiaras and the vests?
Well, we just bought them. So tiaras have elemental effects. They're for casters.
Yeah.
But the max SP is kind of helpful. And honestly, elemental defense is just as useful as physical defense, even if the enemies don't get you with it as much. So sometimes it's a little bit better to lose the physical defense for the elemental. So I'd still like to pick up some weapons, but we're stuck with what we got. And honestly, I'll probably be able to steal some more freely anyway. So this'll at least give us some survivability. At least for the moment. And I think after this story, I'm gonna go do every side quest. I think I'll just do them off camera, because it's so much easier for me to do, like, side quests off camera. Because I'm recording so much every day this week that I'm actually pushing my voice a little bit. I know people are gonna be like, no, record it all, but because, like, that's what happened with
Well, so are
Ni
you
no Kuni
finding
2.
it harder to speak, or?
Yesterday when I was recording Mother Gunship, I definitely felt that my jaw was tired.
Oh no.
Which surprised me a little bit. Even then, I can kind of feel it right now. It's easier because it's you and I talking to each other.
Well, right. Having multiplayer or co-commentary means that half the time you can step back and let someone else speak instead.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Let's see. Axes, spears, swords. No really good crossovers, so I guess let's just hit this guy. Oops. Sorry.
What?
Over
Punch
here.
the mic. Two skills, DLSP. Let's go for condors. Yeah, Therian makes a great hunter, because the hunter Aerostorm is really expensive.
What's it do?
Let's see. Merchant skills.
So he can just steal back the SP or whatever he needs for it.
Yeah.
What a nice breeze.
Okay.
What is the logical course of
Merchant
action?
skills. Raid wins. Yeah, he does a lot more damage. Okay. But yeah, so just it would be a lot easier on me on my face to not have to to not have to record every single freaking thing. Especially on a 100+ hour JRPG. Because apparently this game is actually that long. Like, a number of people were saying that they've heard it.
Based on just the doing all the 8 stories, or
Yeah.
because of the...
Well, we've pretty much only
Side
been
quests.
doing the main stories, and we're on episode 23?
What?
Yeah.
Well, some of those episodes were grind and item management and whatever you're doing.
But most of them were always, I would say 4 episodes out of the 23, 24-ish have been related. Oh shoot, what do we even do here? Week to 1. We might as well just do Trade Tempest. But no, oh right, her elemental attack is garbage because I need that Rune Lance. She is not a viable caster right now.
Out of my way.
Hunter skills. Arrow Storm.
Awesome. I love that move.
It is a satisfying move, and Therian can pretty much use it whenever he wants. Which is real nice.
Bring it on.
Okay, Great Condor is almost wounded. What do we do? Anybody injured? I guess we're gonna first aid Cyrus, because I want its dancing time.
Let's
There we go.
let's see what happens.
Hey! Oh, well, never mind, battle's over.
Whoa! You summoned a monster and it wasn't a bad effect?
Yeah, so the monster was summoned one, just does 9,999 damage to
What?
all enemies, yeah.
Boss?
It's amazing, but it's rare. Yeah, it'll hit bosses. It'll hit anyone and everyone. I've had it happen 3 times now, and yeah, it's just a battle ender.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
Unfortunately, these guys don't have shared weaknesses, which is annoying, but that's okay. None of them are weak to anything that I have either. Oh.
You don't have fire anymore?
I appreciate it.
He does have fire, but like, Therian shouldn't be casting fire spells generally.
Well, what about Cyrus?
Cyrus should be, but there's no common weakness between all 4.
I know, but at
And-
least you can get 2 of them.
Yeah, but my general goal is to hit the common weakness.
But there are no common weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
This calls for
And
Because
so
I
that's-
assume that the left one is sword and the right one's dagger.
Yeah,
What is the logical course of action?
but so that was what I was griping against. Anyway, fireball. Kill the Lorises. Oh, there's slow Lorises. That's what's going on.
My turn.
Skills, share SP.
Keep it up.
This is dancing time. I always gotta have the bewildering grace. It does have the chance of messing me up. It also has the decent chance of like doubling EXP, and I'm like, it's worth the gamble, especially if there's nobody left.
Now, what next?
Let's see. His spear is good. He's still not a very strong character, but whatever.
You should have
His
studied harder.
his spells are what I'm supposed to use. Anyway.
Onwards!
Onwards, yeah. And I think at this point, now that we're not taking as much damage as we were, I'm more confident in the idea of, you know, taking on whatever boss it is. Or worst comes to worst, we just run around grinding for a little bit in the cabin, pick it up next time after I've done all the side quests. Who knows?
I was hoping that we'd be at least able to get Tress's story section done,
I
but
appreciate it.
Well, this is what happens when I don't do the management that you so hate.
yes! Do it all off camera, please.
I haven't had time. You want to do things with me. You're like, Carl, you pay attention to me. And I'm like, I have so much work to do. And you're like, but we haven't watched Voltron in 8 hours.
No, it's because we were eating. We always watch one episode of Ultron when we eat.
No, I know. I just, like, I straight up am...
I cook you your meal, and we watched
I did
one
half
thing.
the cooking yesterday.
Wind in our sails.
That was because my thumb's messed up too.
Yeah.
On top of my
I
wrist.
wonder where my time goes.
Bring it on.
Goes everywhere. Elfin is expensive. I gotta remember what the skill was that increases.
By Alphen being expensive, do you mean materials or do you mean...
His SP usage is really high, and he doesn't have an easy means of getting it back.
Out of
So
my
you essentially
way.
have to use Therian to give it back?
Yeah. 2 SP. Who is particularly you?
I appreciate it.
There we go.
Really.
Luckily, Therian really is just kind of the HP machine. He can just freely hand it out to whomever. Great Conjur's hardly injured. There are things like the Dancer that
That
like
one's vulnerable, though.
yeah,
I appreciate it. Really.
and dead.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, right, spear. But remember, he has a completely unupgraded spear, though.
Won't hold back.
Okay.
Defenses are weakened. Your
Eh,
defense is weakened.
we'll be fine.
Your defense is weakened! SP recovered.
Hey!
Really? Is that gonna be permanent until we rest or something, or is it just
No,
for
it
this
lasts for
battle?
6 rounds, if you notice.
Yeah.
It's not actually a big deal.
Here I go.
Let's see. Because we can just wail on this guy.
All right. Let's get down to work.
But yeah, it only lasts for a couple number of rounds, and that only lasts for the battle. So if you go on to the next place, it goes away. Hey, there's some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll do every T1 side quest before we
Oh,
record again.
Morlocks Manse. It
Oh.
doesn't even say mansion, it's just months.
Well, that's kind of the ye old way of saying it. Is it just me, or is this mansion extraordinarily creepy?
It's dark, it's ominous, it's built into the cliffside.
Maybe Morlock isn't a real person after all.
Maybe he's a Morlock.
Well, he's got human guards.
No, I know. But you know what a Morlock is, right?
Yeah.
From the time machine.
Night Ode.
The creatures that dwell beneath
What
the
is
earth
logical course of action?
and eat the Eloi.
All like you. Smite them down.
Actually, wait a minute. What's the girl's name from Horizon Zero Dawn?
Eloi.
Really now?
Yeah.
That...
You just caught the reference?
What do you mean? Did you know about that reference?
Somebody called it out in chat. That's really all I remember.
Darkness.
Why is that a thing? Because I've never actually read the Time Machine myself.
Eloi. So in the time machine, when the Doctor creates his, well, time machine, he ends up getting thrust into the very distant future, and there are these peoples that live in the ruins of what used to be a great technological civilization that has since been long overgrown by nature, you know? And these people are sort of androgynous looking. They don't much care for elaborate clothing or you know, like building anything of the sort. They all have, or at least in the film versions, they all had sort of like blondish hair and childlike appearances, and they were also kind of naive and such, and all they did was they would prance about, pick flowers, eat fruits, and such. What's up?
Oh, just that encounter. This place is great for leveling.
Yeah, and so they were called the Eloi, and the time traveler was kind of upset because he was thinking to himself, you know, I imagined in the distant future, humanity would have become great and, you know, explored the stars and had, you know, machines beyond imagining, and yet here this seems to be a regression. So he befriends this one girl, and like they're afraid of the night. She says, oh, you know, we must hide and whatever, and he goes, why? What happens at night? And it turns out that all over the landscape, scattered about, are these tubes. Sort of like, you know, in Mario, how there are those pipes. There are these wells, essentially. And up from these wells crawl these creatures called the Morlocks. And they sort of look like depraved...
Come on, I've got better things to do.
You know, like Yetis or Sasquatches, but, you know, of an underground variety, you know, grotesque faces and sort of furry bodies, whatever.
Yeah.
And so they come up and they occasionally kidnap the Eloi, and I believe they take the girl that he befriended. Oh, I forgot what her name was. Something like something E. I don't know. But so he goes after her and finds out that underground the Morlocks have a complex network of tunnels and machinery, and they seem to be, while ingenious with their devices, they are sort of forced into the shadows. They can't stand the light of day. And I believe they're also completely carnivorous. So I think he comes upon, you know, bones and such, and it turns out that they're eating the Eloi, I believe. And these are also the same creatures that stole his time machine. Like when he arrived with the time machine, he had it taken from him. So he's able to find his time machine and fight off the Morlocks, and I don't remember if he succeeds in saving her and sending her to the surface or whatever and saying his goodbyes to like the Eloi and everything, but he's able to make off with the time machine and go back into the past.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
Because it doesn't quite work that way in Horizon Zero Dawn, because obviously Aloy is the one that comes... Well, she's not even from... Well, no, she does come out of the underground, and technically sort of time machine-ish, because she's a clone of somebody from the past. But that's kind of where it...
Yeah, I mean, it might just be a similarity of the names.
Yeah.
The Eloi versus Aloy.
Well, I think Aloy is an alloy. But,
Uh-huh. But no, Morlocks are definitely supposed to be like the underground miners and...
Now, what next?
I think people just also associate Locke with like warlocks and stuff. And a Morlock would sort of be like a morbid lock or a...
Yeah. Well, I think Morlock just sounds kind of like, eh. You know, like... With a name like Morlock, you're like, yeah, okay, that guy's probably...
And then even in World of Warcraft, you have the Murlocs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.